All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for clicking on the video. Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega Genesis. What is this newfound love that I'm talking about? Well, let me tell you. In the last week or so, I've had my CRT hooked up with the Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat 2 hooked up to it. And I found myself wanting to play this quite often this week. Now, it was a busy week for me, so when I got home from work and such, I didn't have a lot of time to play. But I found myself coming into my basement, and if I had 5 minutes or 10 minutes here and there, I'd turn it on, I'd play a few matches, a few rounds, and I'd shut it off. And after a couple of days, this was becoming a bit of a habit. And I found myself playing Mortal Kombat 2 on the Genesis quite regularly over the last week. I was at work today, and stressful day. After work, though, I was like, I just want to chill out and play some Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Genesis again. And I couldn't understand what the addiction was all of a sudden. If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I prefer the Super Nintendo version. When I grew up, I had the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis, had both systems, played both very regularly. But when it came to Mortal Kombat, it was either the arcade or it was the Super Nintendo. And while I played the Genesis version a few times at a friend's place or whatever, I didn't actually own it for the Genesis at the time. And so I played a lot of Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo. And, to this day, I still favor Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo. So why all of a sudden am I dying to play this version all the time right now, whether it be for 10 minutes or whether it be in its entirety? So, you know what I realized? I realized that, when you're younger, Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo, to me, it was arcade perfect. I played the hell out of it. I was addicted to it. I loved playing it over and over and over again. And I find I'm kind of feeling that vibe when I play the Sega Genesis version now. It's almost like a new game to me, so to speak. Because I didn't play it as much when I was younger. Definitely, not even close. And even though I've had it for a while now on the Sega Genesis, I still haven't really given it much attention until basically just the last week or so. It was actually after I bought that At Games emulator and started doing some comparisons between the Sega Genesis and the At Games. And I'm finding it more and more appealing every time I play it. Now, I was playing it on the big screen more, just through emulators and up converting the connection to like an HDMI. But when I got playing it on the CRT, it really brought me back 30 years, and it was almost like I was there again. And I think that's a lot of the appeal of the game to me right now. And I got to be honest, I'm loving it. I love this version. I love the way it looks on the CRT. Because I'm so used to the arcade, and I'm so used to the Super Nintendo, the great sound effects and the great graphics and such, that it's almost like it's playing a new game again. I know it seems kind of strange, but mid 40s, I'm reliving a lot of the nostalgia now, and the memories associated with the 90s and the 80s to me they're fantastic. And so when I get playing this, it almost teleports me back to when I was 14 years old, playing Mortal Kombat 2 on the CRT back at my old house with the family and such. And it's like a warm feeling inside when I play it. So now, to me, it's like this is all brand new again. And I've been playing it, just random characters, just playing and playing and playing. Win or lose, it's a great time. And I think the bottom line is the Sega Genesis version is actually very fun. Now, whether you want to critique it for poor graphics or poor sound, it's still unique in its own right. And truth be told, I find I'm the one commentating during the matches anyway. So even though the Shao Kahn's not saying the character names, and there's not as much speech, and the music's different, even the fatalities, there's something very, very appealing about it. And I get it now. If you grew up playing the Sega Genesis version more than the Super Nintendo version, and that's the version you love, I get that being your preference into into your 40s and 50s, etc. Because that's how I was with the Super Nintendo. But now I find that, you know, I'm playing the Genesis version. I've been playing it all week. That you know, it's almost the reverse things happening, and I'm just loving the Sega Genesis version. So that is the newfound love. This version right here, the Sega Genesis, it's great. Yeah, it doesn't have the same colors. The fatalities look different, but they've all got their own appeal, and the music even. I love the music in this one. I'm not gonna lie. And when I play against like Jade, that blue portal stage, the ending's slightly different. Even the credits, and I'm watching the credits, and they're different from the Super Nintendo. It was a different company that made it, or a different, you know, different programs and such that made it. And I don't know. I think I'm reliving those years again in the 90s. It's almost like I'm reliving it over every time I sit down and play this for 15, 20 minutes. So that is what I'm talking about. That is the newfound love for Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Genesis. So that being said, what the hell? Let's do a playthrough on the CRT. Let's just go random. We'll put some codes in. Maybe even do a Fergality. Who knows? But that's what this video is. We're going to play through Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Genesis, relive it on the CRT. I'm going to talk like I usually do while playing it, and just have a good time. It's all about having a good time playing this game, and it's very, very fun to me right now. I'm not going to lie. If you put it next to a Super Nintendo right now, I would be playing the Sega Genesis version just because of what I just talked about for the last few minutes. So thank you for clicking on the video. Let's get right into the gameplay. And let's have a great time doing it. Thank you once again. All right, here we go. Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega Genesis. Definitely 6-button controller. This game can't be played with 3 buttons. It's nearly impossible. It's supposed to be played with a 6-button controller, however, so that's what we're doing. From the opening music here, yes, the sound is tinier, for sure, but still very appealing. There you go, Mortal Kombat 2. All right, so here we go. Go to the options. Difficulty, it's set at very easy. It's hard no matter how you play it. It's a little more lenient on very easy. We'll put it to medium. The extra controls, definitely 6-button. And then done. But instead, left down left, right down right, left left, right right. Brings up test modes. We will do no damage, always tempting. One-hit kills, always tempting. We'll turn on free play. Backgrounds, we're going to put to, if I remember, I can't remember if you got to get a double flawless. Let's try background 6. I think that's the one. And then the opponent will always do fatalities. So you click on Ooh Nasty, and this is how you activate the Fergality. Let's try that. I believe it's background 6. I hope it is. Either that or it's background 3. I can't remember. So let's try that. And if it is 3, maybe we'll back out. So to do a Fergality, let's got to go to Raiden. And like I said, there's just something appealing about the sound effects on this one. The more I play it, the more awesome it is. So there's no pause in this, basically. All right, here we go. So I can't remember if you got to get a double flawless, but basically it says to finish him, you push back, 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 block, and you will in fact do a Fergality. There's something very, very appealing about these sound effects and the music now. Raiden, spelt with a Y, no big deal. Copyright issues, I believe. Let's see, can we still do Fergality? There we go. And as far as I know, that's the only thing that Ooh Nasty in the credits gives you is the Fergality. Now there's no pause, but in between matches, if you want to get up, get a drink, do whatever you got to do, you don't start the next match until you start. until you push the start button. But here we go. Looks like we're going to try beating through it with Raiden. Actually, you know what? All right, we saw the frugality. Let's back out. We're gonna do this again because I think every stage will end up being that stage, and we don't want that. We want the we want every stage that this version has to offer. Now I'm trying to get it to look as best as it can on the camera here, but recording off the CRT is kind of difficult depending on your settings. Let's get back into the game here. Left down left, right down right, left left right right, test modes. So free play on, background we'll leave off. Computer will always do fatalities. We did the frugality, so let's get back into it. Difficulty, again, we'll set to medium. Extra controls, 6 button, we are good to go. Oh, it is not focused. There we go. Melina. All right, so the arcade exploits somewhat work on this version, I find. The controls are very responsive. There's no real slowdown. Yes, it's missing frames of animation, but it's not a big deal. It really isn't, because at the end of the day, if the game is fun, it's fun, and that's what this one is about. So let's... There you go. See, Shao Kahn's still saying outstanding. Still very challenging. Fatalities work. They have their own little flair, their own little, you know, it's different, but it's still very appealing, in my opinion. Reptile, here we go. Now, without video capture, it's hard to capture the clarity of the CRT, but the truth is, this looks fantastic. Toasted! You got the little cartoon character there. And that's only because I put the test menu in there. So Dan Forden is replaced by, you know, what looks kind of like SpongeBob. But this version includes all the friendships, babalities. There you go. The graphics of the word babality are bigger than the arcade, actually, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, everything's included in this. And like I said, every day this week I was coming home wanting to play this. If I came downstairs, I'd be like, you know what? Like to grab a drink or something from the fridge. I'd be like, I'm going to play a match or two of this. And that's exactly what I would do. And if I had a little bit more time, I'd actually play the entirety of the game. It does get pretty hard, just like the arcade. But like I said, the exploits work. So for instance, with Melina, you got to sweep your opponent a lot, and then you hope for them to jump back. Now, Jack's being a bit of a pain. Ooh, he got me there. But it's part of the appeal. Like, you know, if I die and I just choose random and I use somebody else, it's still a ton of fun. And when you do get that win, it's even more... there you go, that music was awesome. It's you have more of a sense of accomplishment when you do, you know, beat the character, beat the opponent. So I love this. You'll notice the Shadow Priest in the back missing. Look at that. This is medium. No cakewalk. But it's also not impossible. So not quite as hard as the arcade. See, See if we can win this one. Nope. Even the sound effects of like the punches, they're almost cute. That's kind of honey marmalade, and he doesn't scream honey marmalade, but you know what? I do the sound effects myself. The sound of the lightning, tiny, is very cool. Ooh. Definitely get your range. Oh crap, can I do it? Can I do it? Nope. Didn't hold high kick long enough. The only thing I haven't tried actually is in the arcade, if you push block and high kick almost simultaneously, it does the fatality where you hold high kick for 3 seconds. So instead of holding it for 3 seconds and you do that, it works. I'm curious if that works on this version. You get smoke there peeking in the back. So I don't have, you don't have the trees making sound effects or growling. And actually it looks like, ooh, darn. It looks like smoke is behind 2 different trees in this one. See if we can do a Babe Ballad. Or no, you know what? We're not going to feed the Genesis tree demons. We are going to do the swallow fatality. So it's a lot of sweeping. True. No jumping at Katana when she's the 5th player, that's for sure. Oof. Nice counter uppercut from Katana. There we go. Very fast with that fan. But if your timing is right, it's not impossible. The holding block and kick doesn't work on this one. And the Liu Kang sound effects in this one I like a lot too. What the? You'll hear if he does his bicycle kick, you'll know exactly what I mean. Ooh, that was a quick one. I haven't even thrown a Sai yet. What the? There we go, there's her Sai. Still counters with that jump fire. Toasty! Not doing it as loud right now. Oh, and that's it. Very cool. I think that fatality looks great on this version. All right, let's go random. It says 15 credits, but it is set at free play. Raiden. Here we go. Raiden with a Y. So strategy with Raiden, same kind of thing. You gotta sweep, and if he jumps back, you hope for that. And when he does that, we can do a couple moves. I messed that up, but anytime you jump back, that'll happen too. No sound effects for his honey marmalade. Oof, nice counter. What the? Nope, no bicycle kick. What the? Alright, Liu Kang giving me a bit of a tough time. There we go. Oof. What the? Uh-oh. There we go. Screen still darkens when he does his lightning. That's cool. Ooh, Liu Kang going crazy on me this time. That was a quick one. So he will do a fatality to me every time. What it is, you never know. What I do know, this version is awesome. What I should try actually is hooking up the Super Nintendo and the Genesis and going back and forth in between matches, selecting the input perhaps and doing that. Alright, so from here on, this should be pretty good. Johnny Cage is one of the easier characters to beat the game with, simply because of the jump back exploit. On this it's slightly different in that it's a little harder to pull off combos, because when you jump back with kick, oof, that was dumb. It doesn't give you as much time to throw a couple high punches to the shadow kick. There we go. Oh. And I noticed Johnny Cage's shadow kick in this is always red. There we go. But all his fatalities are the same in this. Slightly different animation. Try to mix it up a little bit, get some variety in there. His roundhouse kick actually seems a little slower on this one. But there is no slowdown, which is cool in this one. Whereas you'll notice that in the Super Nintendo version. When things start getting hectic. Oh, oh. All right. There we go. 3 heads. Excellent. Fatality. Right on. Sub-Zero, always a tough time. Oof. Kano and Sonya are still in the back on this one. You'll notice the shadows are just blobs in this version, but again, you know, limitations of the hardware. A lot of people said to not forget that the Genesis came out 2 years before the Super Nintendo, so the hardware wasn't quite as good as the Super Nintendo. Mind you, with Mortal Kombat 3, the Sega Genesis did a fantastic job at that one. Same as that uppercut there, it's a red shadow. There we go. Excellent. You'll notice the animation slightly different for some of the fatalities also. It's not a big deal in my opinion. Melina still plays the way she plays in the arcade. Basically, very quick match. Just about your range. Your range has to be good. Look at that. Excellent. So let's do Johnny Cage's Friendship. There we go. There you have it. They only have, what is that, like a green and red for Friendship. Music's slightly different. Now, I don't think you can duck Johnny Cage's shadow kick in this. I mean, if he starts with it, I think you do get hit with it. I could be wrong. For some reason, I was thinking that. Maybe I'm wrong. But all the pit fatalities are still included in this. you know, they took out the speech, they might as well include everything else. Boom. So I guess he can duck it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I was thinking something else. Ooh. Johnny Cage, though. I love Johnny Cage. If it wasn't for Johnny Cage in that AI video, this channel wouldn't be what it is today. Boom. All you need to do is hold down on one controller on this version, and the character will fall off the spikes. Ooh, totally missed that. Now, Kung Lao's throw in this one. Actually, even the animation on the hats is a little quicker. But his throw, he doesn't scream all crazy in this one. Obviously, like I said, they left a lot of the speech out. And in Mortal Kombat 3 on the Genesis, they leave a lot of it in, so it was something that was definitely the system was capable of back then. They just didn't know how to utilize the hardware to its maximum capacity, I guess, back then. And then again, I could just be talking out my ass and I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's how I see it. There's no, on that hat throw or whatever, there's no reset. He just basically throws. Ooh, can we do it? We are close. We cannot, so what is he gonna do? Took my head off. Didn't have to aim. The AI knew what it was doing and it did not have to aim. Alright, let's see who we get next. Jax. Excellent. Jax, excellent character. Ooh. Ooh. Timing is a little off there. Alright. I think Jax has the worst animation for a roundhouse kick in this. It's effective though. Does the damage. Jax wins. Oh. Speech is still in there for gotcha. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. Jumping all over the place here. Boom. Excellent. Some of the fatalities in this are adorable. When there's like blood and guts on the ground, it disappears. Like Sub-Zero's ice shatter, the ice and the blood and the guts disappears. Ooh. Got that little orange head. There we go. Very nice. Boom. Excellent. That exploit does work on this. It works pretty good. Oh. Come! You don't even get to hear him say, here. Oof. Alright, you got Jade in the back. Let's do a friendship. Awesome. And there you have it. Shang Fun, Kentaro, Shao Kahn. Obviously, no loading time for Shang Fun. Oof. Lots of damage. I like the sound effects for when Shang Fun morphs back, or morphs in general. It's pretty cool. And the animation is very good for the characters. Yes, there's missing animation, missing frames, but it's still very good. Here we go. The sound effects, there's something so appealing about it now. I swear. Like I said, I don't know what it is. I think it feels like I'm playing this game for the first time again, kind of thing. Now the jump kick exploit, I'm not sure if it actually works with Kentaro. Oof. I think you just gotta be quick. And hope that you can beat him. Hope that he jumps around. But I found he's a little bit more difficult on this. I mean, even that right there, that was my mistake. You just gotta be ready. Ready for whatever he throws at you. Oh, missed my free shot there. Look at that. Don't even have to block. Oof. Oof. Taro's a beast. Literally. Alright, let's see who we get. Johnny Cage. Now, Johnny Cage, once again, can take out Kentaro pretty easily on the arcade. A little bit different on this one, but we'll do what we can. Boom. Missed it. And that's the thing, he'll usually snag you out of the air for that. If you try to do a shadow kick and he's just standing neutral. There we go. Oh my goodness, he's very, very strong. There we go, tried shadow kicking, and he snagged me right out of the air. Ooh! And that in the arcade too, you can uppercut him if your timing's good enough. Hard to do, but it is possible. Alright, definitely not a one and done. Which is cool though, because I don't mind playing through it. I wonder if the katana exploit works on this. We're about to find out. But if anybody's played through this with katana, you'll know that you can do a lot of this, and he walks into it. Oops, he is a sucker for it. Ooh. Alright, walk into it. Nope. Ooh, that was tough. So a lot of fan raises. Oh, that was interesting. I don't know how I pulled that off. The positioning of these 6 buttons on the controller makes that move a little bit tricky, but definitely not impossible. It's always nice to get a couple hits out. I mean, you can always do it with a jump punch, just like that. Ooh. All right. There we go. This music actually reminds me of the kind of the Game Gear music, to be honest. I mean, a lot better, but still kind of like the Game Gear. Now you'll hear that a lot. So that's basically all he says in this one. But I find the same trick works. You can actually do a lot of that too, if you're quick enough. And when I say that, I mean jumping in and kicking. That's all she wrote. Excellent. You will die. There we go. That arrow of his is very powerful. Ooh. Oh, jeez. I'm missing a lot of the fans there. I mean, I'm sure I'll still do it. The arrow goes right over you. That's cool. I'm pretty sure it doesn't on the arcade. I mean, you could always do this. But anyways, there you have it. Mortal Kombat 2 in its entirety on the Sega Genesis on a CRT. Scanline scanning. Now the ending's a little different. Basically just tells the story. No big deal though. With the original music there. And there you have it. Like I said, I don't know what it was, but I was hooked on this game all last week. I was eager to play it every time I came downstairs. And yeah, I really enjoy it. I know that if I grew up playing this version over the Super Nintendo, I would have those same fond memories playing this when I was younger, as I do with the Super Nintendo version. But, you know, it is what it is. Here I am 30 years later, still playing it, still loving it. The Sega Genesis version of Mortal Kombat 2. Excellent game. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Like the credits said there, bye-bye.